Real quick. Who am I? Here again. I'm going to do it again. You ready? Who am I? Who am I? Holy shit. Like a wing house wings. If you want to win, hey, that's like the championship of the wing house. If you win the wing bowl, you get that thing that pops out like this. I don't. All right. Without further ado, hit that like button, my freakazoids. We appreciate all of you coming aboard. The co-host, the Birds 365, who is now in the same conversation with Jimmy Johnson, the great NASCAR man. And on top of that, he is going to be like Tony Stewart from now on, going all NASCAR games. And he's going to have a little twang to him. How you doing here on Birds 365? He is my friend, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
How did you like the event, man, over the weekend when you went to NASCAR?
Pretty awesome, man. It was really dope to get that type of point of view, too, that type of access that my boy Gary got me from JAKIB. So it was incredible, dude. I got to see all behind the scenes, all the pit lane, all the garages. I got to go in there. I saw the Space Force car up close. I met a couple drivers up close. It was really, really a cool experience for somebody that likes cars, appreciates cars. And then you see how loud them suckers are going around the Monster Mile in Dover. So it was a great weekend, a great experience, and a big thanks to Gary Sexton who sent me. He's Dirty Air on JAKIB. So big thanks to him.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think the fans get a great understanding on those embankments. Yeah. Like if you put a basketball at the top of that embankment,
oh my gosh,
that thing would come rolling down. I don't think you really do get a shot with that slingshot is coming off them turns like that. I mean, yeah, to me it was the noise, Xander. I couldn't believe how loud it was.
Yeah. The other thing is this, like Kyle, I'm not mad at you for saying it, but a lot of people say this, like, oh, they're making another left turn.
Not
and
really.
I'm like, yeah, I thought that too. And then I went there and their average speed's 160 miles an hour. And they got car in the front, car in the rear, 3 coming up the right and left side. And I'm like, yeah, you can think that's just a left turn all you want. That's not easy to do. That's a high stress environment. So it was really cool to see that, man. I got some great footage too. Great footage of the event.
Absolutely awesome. Make sure you check it out on Xander's Garage. I'm sure you're going to post it over there.
Yeah, I'm going to post some stuff up there for sure. Yep.
Make sure you guys check it out. All right. 2025, the most interesting part of the team will be what to you?
Well, it's the defense. I mean, well, you could make an argument it's the offense, the evolution of the offense, but I think overall it is the defense. You got all the changes there. They were so good last year. You know, they kind of were a highly talked about, highly covered defense, and obviously played a big part in the reason that the Eagles dominated, not just won the Super Bowl, but dominated the Super Bowl against 2 of the best offensive minds, really of this generation. So the defense for me is the big one, but I'm more confident than John. I'm more confident than Kerr. I'm more confident than Sileo. I mean, these guys are acting like we haven't had good youngsters coming up the pipeline for the last 4 years. We got some guys. We got guys that, yes, they're unproven as of now, but talk to me in week 12, week 14, week 16 when they're the great stories of this season. So I feel much better than most do about it, but they are the one storyline.
I don't feel anyway.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, wait, no. I don't feel anyway. I didn't feel any way. I feel like Vic right now.
You got him outside the top 10, right?
Right now until they prove that they are top 10, yeah. I'm not going to put fortune teller cookies on the table, crack one open and go, I believe that they're going to be a top 5 team.
All right, well, I am.
Okay,
that's called making a take.
That's a fortune cookie take. That's not.
What do you mean? Saying Jalen Hurts isn't going to pass for 4K's fortune cookie too.
Okay. You asked me what I thought of this. Well, wait, I've been consistent. He'll never pass for $4,000 if they want to win. Because that's not what they are. By the way, I don't know if they're going to be good or bad.
You're going McMullen on me. You don't want to speculate anything anymore. You're going McMullen. Don't tell me I got two McMullens now.
How in the world could you make a prediction on a team right now with 5 new starters, which, by the way, I've been 1,000% consistent on, that you have, what was my word? Blowtorch, the defense. I have not wavered on that. I don't know. You took 5 guys out, and here, the defensive turn. Here's why I have questions on you repeating. Do you believe or not they're playing a tougher schedule? Yes or no?
Yeah, well, they are for sure.
Okay.
Objectively. Well, you could say that that's a little fortune cookie too, because there's so much change in the NFL. Maybe some of the teams who were good last year aren't so good, but yeah, on paper they got a good schedule, tough schedule.
Okay. Defensive turnover and regression in experience
is what?
One of the reasons that you may not repeat.
Oh, that's definitely one of the reasons for sure. If they didn't repeat, that would be one of them. I agree with that. I don't think it's going to come to fruition.
Oh, so, okay. So you're under the belief now in July 21, you believe that those guys are going to be able to replace all them guys. And
I believe the Eagles are going to go back and win another Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
I think they're going to have a really good chance to do that. Okay. I don't think they can do that with a shitty defense. So I am predicting maybe not that Keely Ringo's an all-pro, but I think that they're going to be good enough players for Vic and the defensive players around them to prevail and thrive.
Do you think Barkley's going to be 2024 Barkley?
I think 80% of that, 85% of that. I think he's probably going to end up with 1,700 yards in the regular season. I don't know if he runs for 2K again. Maybe he does with the postseason involved or combined. But I don't know. I like what Luther brought up. I mean, Luther in the chat before I came on the show today had a great comment. I don't know if I can go back and find it, but basically everybody's missing it. It's not about what the Eagles lost. It's about they've exploited where the NFL has gone defensively.
That's right.
And they got small linebackers, small edge rushers, and the Eagles got these bulldozer offensive linemen, these insanely athletic, strong, monstrous tackles. They got bulldozers in the middle and Landon and even Cam. And they got Saquon Barkley, who's one of the the fastest, most elusive backs, really one of the best playmaking backs in the sport. So I feel like that's a pretty good take as well.
I do. I absolutely do. I think they caught the NFL with their draws down in the fact that if you think about it, the NFL is set up to stop the passing game. Look where they spend the money in the equity, at corners and edge.
Right.
They don't spend it in the heart of the defense like Philly did. So, okay. How about this one here? So do you believe why didn't Vic Fangio make it as a good head coach in Denver?
I don't know. Is he too cutthroat, too straightforward? Doesn't play the political game you see Sirianni playing? I don't know. Maybe doesn't relate with the younger player when he's the head guy versus when he's the coordinator. You kind of get that offset with the way that the head coach is. So he's allowed to be that stricter, old school defensive guy. I think he's made to be a coordinator. I really do. I don't think his head coaching stint was a knock on Vic. I get it. It didn't look great, but I do think he's one of those guys that he is, in my eyes, he's built to be a defensive coordinator, especially in today's game where he's bringing that old school experience to a game that so desperately needs some of that, especially on the defensive side of the football. And I think that's why our defense had such an advantage last year, because not only did you have the teacher and the coordinator in Vic, but I believe you had young players who bought into what he was teaching, young players who had the mentality and the attitude to approach each day with an open mind as a sponge, learn and enact what Vic wanted them to do, and the belief in one another. I think Vic showed belief in the young players. They showed belief right back in him, and that's what created such a great defense last year. So I believe, it works really well with this team, I believe, Vic.
Okay. Let me ask you about Stoughton. You think Stoughton's a great coach, right? Of course.
Of course, yeah. Great position coach.
Okay. Do you think he'd be a great head coach?
I can't say that. I can't say that. I have no clue. I'd like to think he would, because of the way you hear the way his offensive linemen speak about him. I mean, Mekhi Becton cried talking about it. You know what I mean? So if you have a coach that can make a player feel like that, and so I don't know what you would comp it to. You'd probably have a better comp as somebody that played football at a super high level. It almost makes it feel like he's you're another son of his or something, in some regard, with no disrespect to these people's parents. But, I feel like he has that ability. So maybe he could be a good head coach.
Okay. So all that being said, how are you so confident that Kevin Patulo is going to go from being a passing coordinator to being an offensive coordinator, if that transition is tough for being a coordinator to head coach, position coach to being not just a passing coordinator, but he's got to deal with the tight end coach now, wide receiver coach. He's got to deal with the head coach, the relationship with those two
no,
guys.
it's true.
When you're making the – don't you – how about Nick going from head coach? Do you think Nick kind of bounced a little bit going from coordinator to head coach his first year?
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying with this, but the difference, I think, is one that it's not as big as a head coach. The jump, obviously, to a coordinator, I don't think it's as big to a jump as the head coach would be in terms of your comparisons. And the other thing I think is that Kevin Patulo has been building his career to become a coordinator and maybe a head coach one day, versus Vic is on the other side of trying all those things out and settled back in as a defensive coordinator and said openly, this is going to be my last stop. I don't want to be a head coach. Like I'm not looking for a promotion. And Jeff Stoutland, who, I mean, I don't know, he's been a position coach for how many years here in Philly?
By the way, those guys are all spectacular at what they do.
They're great. So I'm saying, I don't know if Jeff Stoutland approached the game with, I want to be this one day. I want to be an offensive coordinator one day. He maximized what he did. I think Kevin tried to build his career and hone his skills with the expectation or the desire to get to this level. And I actually think that has a big part in it. You know, if you're looking to get to the next level, you watch things differently. You learn things differently. You teach things differently. You grow differently as a person, versus if you're Stoutland and you know, I don't want to be a head coach. I don't want to be a coordinator. I want to be an offensive line coach. You maximize that. And I think Kevin's, it's a little bit of a different circumstance, but I think Patulo's in a pretty good spot.
Let me tell you, being a position coach and being a guy calling plays is night and day.
Well, Patulo wasn't really a position coach.
I'm sorry?
Patulo wasn't really a position coach.
Well, what was he? He was a passing coordinator, right?
He was pass game coordinator, but he was also assistant head coach, I believe he was, before he was this role. Let me look up exactly what his title was.
Career.
So he was pass game coordinator and associate head coach.
Right.
So I don't know. That's kind of what I mean, though. Like they were trying to build him, I think, more to be able to handle the other parts of it that you need. But I hear you. It is still
grooming him. You think they were grooming him for this role?
A little bit more so, yes. Yes, for lack of a better word. I think a little bit more so.
Why didn't they elevate him over Brian Johnson when they had the chance to elevate him?
That's a good question. It's a good question. Maybe they trusted Brian. Maybe it was a Jalen Hurts thing. Brian and Jalen were really close. And I think at the time, I think Patulo at them was just the pass game coordinator. So you don't go from – I think the better jump is – well, you can make the argument they could have went with Patulo over Johnson. But I don't know. It felt like Brian Johnson was like the next guy, in that offensive huddle. No, Patulo was a little bit quieter, more behind the scenes then. But I don't know the answer to your question of why they went with him over Patulo.
Yeah, because somebody said something to me, and I go, if he's so great, and he's in the same role for the last 3 years, why did they go with Johnson over him?
Well, you understand that there's benefit in development.
No. There's also,
like Brian Johnson would probably know more now as a coordinator 2 years later than he would then.
Look at Jaden Daniels. Absolutely, he would now. He's the pass coordinator for the Washington Commanders.
And the quarterback. Is he the quarterback coach again?
He's a quarterback coach and passing coordinator there in Washington with Jaden Daniels, who had the Rookie of the Year. So, I mean, I think that guy, I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he was put in a bad situation. So here's my second one here for you. Will A.J. Dillon help Barkley?
I'm worried about those neck stingers, man. I'm worried about those neck stingers. He missed all last year. The season before that, he played most of the year, took his first neck stinger late in the year. It was either late December or in a playoff game with the Packers. Then he was shut down for the year after the neck stinger. Then he went into training camp the following year, so about this time of the next season. And he got a stinger in the first week of training camp. And then that kept him out for the entire year. So you're talking about the last 2 times that A.J. Dillon has been on the field for extended periods. He has left with the neck stinger. 2 of them. He's a running back that made his money, buttered his bread on being a physical guy.
Yeah.
So I got concerned with him in that sense. And I think A.J. Dillon, in theory, yes, would help A.J. Brown a lot. But I'm not sure, or not A.J., Saquon Barkley a lot. But I'm not sold that he's going to be healthy all year. And I hope he is, because I do think he'd be a great addition. I like him a lot more than I like Kenny Gainwell. But Kenny Gainwell doesn't have neck stinger problems. And I'm pretty sure Kenny Gainwell will be healthy, if all things go right. So I don't know about A.J. Dillon, but I think if he's out there, he'd be a help for sure.
So here's another one here. How do you feel about the wide receiver room after 2? After Smith, how do you feel about it when number 3 wide receiver had 43 attempts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, and with Dotson having 19 catches?
Well, remember, I'm not like...
It's not a utilized role. I get it.
Yeah, it's not. Well, that's A. And B is, remember, Jahan Dotson did get here last year at the end of training camp. Not the beginning, not halfway through. They traded for him after all the preseason games and right on the doorstep of the start of the season. So there was no acclimation period for him other than these are the route concepts, and you're now the guy running them instead of whoever else you replaced, Queasy Watkins or whatever the hell it was. that was it. So that was the only acclimation period. Now I feel like at the very least there is the benefit of playing with him, knowing him, learning his tendencies between him and Jalen, I'm talking. And I think that will help him. Now, I don't know how many catches he's going to get. I don't think he's not a talented player. Like, I don't think he didn't show me last year.
He's in.
Right. He didn't show me last year like, oh, geez, even if he gets a bigger role, we're screwed. It was more just he didn't get the ball at all.
He's the best 3 that they've had in the series.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's better than Quez. I think he's better than, Hightower. He's better than –
more reliable.
Yeah, all the – what's that one guy? Zach Pascal. I think he's better than those guys. So I'm good with Jahan Dotson. I think he's going to have a better year than he had last year. Not by much, but if he had more, what'd you say he had? How many catches last year?
19.
19? Oh, geez. That's low.
I'll
give him like 35. I think
and they
35.
had 23 for the entire group.
Right. I think 30 to 35 catches for Dotson this year might be good.
That's a lot.
You think so?
I do. I think that
doesn't feel like a lot to me, but
well, maybe it can too, Zander. You got to remember that, they're either going to go to more fullback this year or they're going to utilize 3. I think they're going to do more fullback this year than they are going to be thrown to the 3 wide out. I think they're going to go more to a power game this year.
So,
how many tight ends?
I'll be curious to see if they do that, because that would really be I mean, remember, the owner kind of referenced that. Do you remember that? Yeah, earlier this offseason. So that would be a big switch, man, from what this organization has tried to become for the last 20 years, which I would give him credit for, because shit, do what you got to do to win. I'm in a business that thrives on that. You got to evolve. You got to change. You got to make different things. You know what I mean? If you want to win. So I'm good with that, but it would definitely be a big switch from what Lurie has always strived for.
How many tight ends do you think they're going to keep?
3. I think it's going to be him. I think it's going to be Goddard. I think it's going to be Calcaterra, and maybe one more guy. Now, if you're looking at that Bryant guy as a guy who could be a fullback, maybe another one. But how are you going to keep him? You got Van Sumeren. I guess they're going to move Van Sumeren to the defensive side.
If you have 3 and you're going to keep a fullback.
How many did they keep last year?
They had 2.
They only kept 2?
They had 2. They had Calcaterra and they had Goddard. Then they activated one off the practice squad. They had 2. Well,
that's why that Bryant guy's interesting, because if they do use a fullback, he can do
power game.
Or what?
More a power game.
Yeah. Well, I think Bryant's the guy who can do that. So maybe JD3 is right about Harrison Bryant. Because he can do the tight end 3 and he can kind of do the fullback. Now, I don't know if he's the best fullback, but I don't know. That's interesting. I'm going to be watching that. Are they going to really use a fullback more this year? That'd be interesting.
I think
Van Sumeren,
see more of that.
Van Sumeren's a good option at that too. But I think they changed his position to a defensive guy, maybe for roster purposes.
See, I think they're going to keep 2 tight ends and they're going to have a fullback. And the reason they're only going to keep 2 tight ends is because you're going to keep more of a power game. I think it's going to be – get this. I would not be shocked if Calcaterra doesn't make the club. I mean, because if I'm going to run the ball, he's not somebody that
I see what you're saying. I want a more versatile tight end there versus a pass catcher.
Right. If Barkley's on my – now, wait a minute. If you've got a guy who catches the ball and runs, I'm going to have Calcaterra on the team because give me another pass option. But if I'm going to be a power team with a fullback,
right,
I'm not keeping Calcaterra on my team.
Yeah, I think he's going to get in because of seniority and because Jalen's familiar with him. And he did. Goddard, by the way, misses how many games a year, and you already know you've had him, there when Goddard's missed. So I feel like they're going to keep Calcaterra, but I don't. I see your line of thinking. It's not out in left field for me.
How is Jeff Stoutland going to shuffle the old line rotations now with how is that going to look? I'm not talking about the top guys. I'm talking about the guys on swings now. Are you going to do Tyler Steen as a tackle? Are you going to keep him as a guard? What if that guy doesn't win the job? How are you going to utilize him? Because he's not terrible. If he doesn't win, that just means a kid Pryor, who I think is going to win that job. Does Tyler Steen become a swing guard and tackle?
Maybe.
Some of the young kids. How is Jeff going to do that? I'm going to be very interested to see because to me, I think Kenyon Green is not going to make the roster.
I don't think so either because if you look at the offensive line room, it's actually, despite 4 or 5 starters coming back and the guard spot being kind of limited to maybe a couple guys, 2 or 3 players, pick and choose whatever ones you like. That's actually going to be a contested room to get down to make cuts in because they got Trevor Keegan from last year. They got the 3 draft picks this year that they love. Miles Hinton, Cam, what's his name? Is it Williams? I forget. And then they got Drew Kendall. And then you got Pryor, Steen. You got who's going to be your swing tackle, who replaces Fred. Who I don't know. Drew Kendall you're going to keep because he can play guard and center. So there's actually a lot of bodies in that room. Then you got that undrafted guy who kind of is more Mekhi Becton-like. Well, I forget his name. The guy from Rutgers. So there's a lot of players in that room actually. Offensive line.
That guy, that Leakin kid, is that his name?
Leakin, yeah, it's not going to be him. Cam Williams, thank you, Kyle. That was the name I was forgetting.
Okay.
And then who's the Rutgers guy I'm missing? The Rutgers guy is that big dude. He's like 6'8" or
Marcus
6'8". Holland Pierce. Thank you, CZ. Thank you, CZ. That's Holland Pierce. Yeah. So there's a lot of bodies there, man. A lot of guys there.
Okay. So let's go over to this one here. Who's going to get cut at edge? Who do they keep? Let's do this. Let's do this here. How many edge rushers? By the way, guys, throw the number up. How many edge rushers did they keep a year ago? Well, they have 3 active.
5, right?
5 and 3 active, didn't they? Or was it 5? They had 5.
I thought it was 5.
Okay, 5.
Wait, because remember they got rid of Johnson at the cut downs, and then the Giants picked him up. They obviously had Bryce Huff, they had Josh Sweat, they had Brandon Graham, they had Jalix Hunt, and they had Nolan Smith. So they had 5.
Okay, so we're going to go down this line here. You're keeping Smith.
Yep.
Keeping Hunt.
Yep.
You're keeping Uche.
I don't see how you cut either Uche or Ojulari. You have 2 guys. Yeah, that's 4 guys.
Okay. So then Patrick Johnson and the Ryland kid, those guys are out. But
I don't know. John thinks Ryland has a chance to make the team. And that's a big change of tune on from John because when he got drafted, and I was all fired up about it on draft day because of his crazy college numbers, Johnny Mack basically told me to shut the F up because he's a 7th round draft pick. And now John keeps telling me he's an interesting name in camp. I'm like, where was this on draft night when I was all jacked up about him and you shit on me, John? I wasn't happy about that. So, yeah, I think APR actually has a chance because of the lack of true sack artists that they have.
See, Uche and Ojulari, okay? you would assume that those two guys are the backups, right?
Yeah.
Uche and Ojulari.
I don't know. Some people think J-Lux versus Ojulari is a good camp battle.
Okay. So there's 4 dudes. The rest of those guys, you're keeping. So you're keeping one more. Who is it?
Probably Power Island.
Patrick Johnson's gone.
Well, we didn't have Patrick Johnson last year, so
Okay.
it's not,
All right.
I'm just saying, we've already proven we can live without him, and I don't know what he brings in terms of a specialty trait standpoint. Like APR, if you have a 5th edge rusher, you either need special teams out of him or you need a specific skill set out of him to use in certain moments. I don't really know if Johnson has that. I know now Johnson, I think, can play special teams, but I think APR would be the guy because of the pass rush, skill set that he has. He was a sack artist at VT. He had a lot of freaking sacks.
He did. But okay, so if you use Jihad Campbell out there on edge, does that keep it down to 4?
Maybe. That's kind of the wild card.
Because when Campbell is starting to be used off ball and at edge, doesn't Vic have versatility there? We'll only keep 4 edge rushers.
Right.
That means that either Ojulari or Uche could be on the chopping block. One of those guys.
Well, maybe, but I think Red Lettuce is right here. Ojulari's strengths in the run game. So you know how Vic likes to play.
Yeah.
Remember, Vic last year, he cared more about an edge that could, or an edge defender that could set the edge and stop the run than he did about a guy who could go after the quarterback. That's why we ended up with only 8.5 sacks for our top sack guy last year in Josh Sweat.
That's right.
So if Ojulari can set the edge and play the run, Vic Fangio is going to keep him around for sure.
Here's another one. Who will be the vocal leader in the secondary with the loss of Gardner Johnson?
I think you're going to see more Reed Blankenship. I think you're going to see more Zach Bond. I don't know if that counts as secondary. It really doesn't because he's the front 7 guy. But I do think he's kind of the line of communication between the front and the back. I think you're going to see a lot of that. I wonder if Cooper DeJean takes a step forward in that regard this year. I don't know if Q would be that guy. I could see it a little bit with Q. He's more vocal on the field than he is, in the media or in the press or anything like that.
He was talking shit to AJ.
That's what I mean. So maybe Quinion takes on some of that role, but I more view Quinion as going to be what Slay kind of was. He might be vocal out there, but I don't know if he's going to be the guy that's the communicator. Reed is going to be the communicator, but we'll see.
Now, remember something. There's a difference between being vocal and being a shit talker that creates confidence and he has like a swagger to him.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that.
Communicate. I think Reed's going to communicate, but I'm talking about the shit talker that you had with an attitude back there. Yeah.
There isn't one.
How about this? Maybe the better question is who's the tone setter?
Is it Quinion? I mean, he's the only guy that talked a bunch of shit last year. It's not going to be Reed. It's probably not going to be a rookie in Makuba. It's Cooper DeJean. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen him talk much shit.
I'm going to be interested in
Fleming thinks it's Coop. I don't know. You think it's Coop?
I think it's Coop. I think he's going to be asked to do that.
So you think Coop is going to be the tone setter? I think Coop is going to be the tone setter from a playmaking perspective. I don't think Coop is going to be the.
Well, dude, when you put a guy in your back and it's Derrick Henry,
but that's what I mean in playmaking. He'll do it via making plays. So if that counts, then sure, it'll be Coop. But he's not going to get in people's faces like Gardner Johnson did. He's not going to stuff somebody at the line of scrimmage and get up and beat his chest and do all. I don't see that. I don't see that from him. But maybe.
What'd you make of those cheesy wings on the fucking ring? Like the champion of the Wing Bowl. Listen, by the way, I like the fucking ring. Let me be honest, because I didn't really give my opinion on it much this morning. I asked John in the chat about it. I see both. Like there's things I like a lot about it, and then there's things I really don't like about it. Like
number one of things I like about it is that it's unique.
Yeah.
Like every sport, every guy that wins gets a ring in every sport.
Yeah.
A lot of them look pretty freaking similar.
Yeah.
With a new logo and a new amount of diamonds, and it's a big hunky ring, and that's why when people wear them in the old school, you can tell, oh, they got a championship ring on. They all look pretty similar. So I like that they added a unique element to the ring to set it apart from what other teams have done. I like that part of it. I don't like if I had the ring, that would make me a little bit like, is this going to last for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? Like, I want that ring to last me forever. I want to look at that as a credit to what I accomplished in my career, even when I'm long, gone and maybe even out of this world and my kids have it or whatever the case would be.
But you want to be buried with that.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't need to be buried with any jewelry. I don't give a shit. I don't need to be buried with any of these worldly belongings.
Every time when it popped out, I was like, holy shit, man. I was like,
look at them rings. Oh, what the F? It's not like you wear it on the daily. We got a perfect ring.
I know.
Race. The new season started today, so you're getting shit on by Zander. Ban has effectively been lifted. All right, effective tomorrow. With the Eagles reporting to camp. But I don't know. I mean, it was all right. It's cool. It's not like my favorite thing. I'm not like, yo, the rings, they have wings. Like, it's like, all right, guys. It's not that fucking cool. Like, I like the diamonds in them better. I like the fact that there's 2 trophies in there better.
I don't have a problem with the ring except for the fucking wings. Other than that, it's okay, man. I mean,
like Prince. Like, yeah, Prince, do you want a ring that, like, I don't know, pops out wings? Like, do you want that, or do you just want, like, a nice piece of bling on your finger? I don't know. I see both sides.
What's this? You fucking click a button, it pops out, and there's a naked chick that comes out of your ring. I don't know. It fucking looks really goofy.
I know. Wait, I know why you don't.
To me, it's cheesy. It's just
cheesy. I know why you don't like it.
Why?
I know why you don't like it.
Why? Tell me.
Because when you click the button to pop out the wings, you got an inscription on there from the great Nick Sirianni.
Oh, God, you're kidding me.
There's an inscription. Can't be great without the greatness of others.
Oh, my God.
And I love that quote for the ring because that truly embodies what the Eagles were last year.
The fucking Dante of coaches with a saying. Holy shit. It pops out like chicken.
Some of you guys are nerds. There's like 90 diamonds. I'm sure there's a warranty. All right, Reyes. Then fucking go buy yourself a replica on Fanatics, dude, if you really love it so bad. Holy moly. Prince.
It's a good-looking ring.
Non-swag people. Prince, shut up, Prince. Sometimes you're off your rocker.
The wings look cheesy. That's all I said.
Look at that. He says the ring is tainted because of the Sirianni quote.
Holy shit, the ring is tainted.
Come on, damn.
Oh my God. Oh
my. Do you guys like really love the wings that much? I'm surprised people like are taking such a hard stand. Like the rings are okay. The wings on the ring are okay. They're not like that cool.
No, the ring is great. The fucking wings are fucking cheesy.
Hey, look at this numb nuts. I'm sure if you 2 dorks were getting a ring, you would have thought the wings were cool. Shut up, senorita.
No, I wouldn't have.
The audacity of you to come in here and say that when you've showed yourself on camera on this channel. Come on, man.
Let me get a sense here.
Look at Prince. No, you shut up. Xander, get some swag, you old lady.
Hold on here. Let me see what I got here.
Prince.
What's the value of the
I don't take it personal, bro.
25 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, they spent a pretty penny on them suckers.
Okay, so it's between 30 to 50 grand. So what? Okay, look, it's great. 30 to 50 grand. You got the fucking pop out little fucking things. It's like a skeleton that pops out of one of them.
It's a little chintzy, guys. It's a $50,000 piece of jewelry, and you got a little button. It goes click. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's like, okay.
So let me ask you one question about your boy. Your boy said something interesting today, which I couldn't. did the Eagles in 2025, do you believe to set up the 2025 season, they did enough this year, and did they have a priority on 25, or were they more concerned about 26 and 27? According to your boy John, they were more concerned about 26 and 27. By the way, a fucking topic we brought up in April. Did they not have more of a priority? Do you think they took a priority on 26 or 27?
No, I think they prioritized where they were in the situation, given the success that they had, given the team they had built, given the contracts they had coming up. I think John's off his keister. I think he's off his rocker.
So what was the number one move they did to add to the team with the losses that helped them the most?
What happened? John saved this.
No,
he saved that for the last day of the offseason, John.
But the point is,
he pulled Sileo. You're right. It was Sileo.
What did they do to improve the team externally?
What do you mean?
Okay, I'll say it again then.
They didn't do anything to it. They didn't do anything to, on paper, improve the team other than trust the development of the players they have in the room and give them the chances that they need to get.
Let's ask it differently. Do you think they lost more talent than what they're replacing the talent with?
Well, they're replacing it with young guys. I can't make that statement.
Oh, okay. So they replace it with more unknowns.
I love how you and John.
No. It's a fucking fair question. It's not a fucking. I'm not making. By the way, I've been.
What did you take a Prince med this morning? You got your panties.
I've been on this. I've been very consistent with this the entire offseason. Do you believe that they have added to this team with the amount of losses to compensate for the losses of talent?
On paper, no.
On paper, no.
On paper, no.
On paper, teams don't win.
Well, you tell me. One guy made $26 million and left the team, and they're replacing him with a 7th-round rookie. Like this is a backhanded question. This is an impossible question to answer. He's trying to corner me. I don't allow it. In fact, I'm gonna fucking sit you over in the cup corner. Yo, shut the fuck up. We know. They're unproven.
See, folks. When anyone resorts to that means you can't answer it, which means they didn't do anything. Which, like you said, they got themselves they didn't add anything except for the draft, which we still don't know.
All right,
you're starting the season. You're starting the season.
Cox and Jalen Carter.
You're starting the season with 2 dudes on IR too. Maybe.
What about when they replaced Fletcher Cox with Jalen Carter? What about when they replaced the corner James Bradbury with Quinyon Mitchell? What about when they replaced Devontae Maddox with Cooper DeJean? Like nobody knew then either. You got to give the guys a chance. They could very well be better.
So you're giving Keely. You think Keely Ringo replaces Slay? That's what you're saying.
Wait a second. Last year you shit on Slay.
No. Whoa. Last year, Big Sills was wrong 1 year of the 4 years I've been covering your team. So. Let me ask you this.
That is a joke.
Let me ask you this. That's fact.
You said Jalen Hurts would never win a Super Bowl. You said that in year 1, 2, and 3.
More of my takes were right when you were telling me how great the team was at 10-1. That team.
I wasn't telling you shit. I wasn't on the air.
Okay. I was like, that team ain't good. That team is not good. Anyway,
I will give you credit for saying that.
Hey, let me say this to you. By the way, I'm not telling you right now.
It was them busty ass coordinators that
I'm not telling you that those guys are not going to be good. I'm just telling you, like I said here at the beginning of the program when I asked you these questions, and I put this out here.
So you know what this is?
The defensive turnover and the regression.
You know what this is, Sills?
I have no idea.
Is
that your waterbed?
This is about the time in the segment when Silio's driving me nuts. The chat's being a bunch of Nimrods, and I got to turn on the air unit. The window unit is going on, baby. Let's put it on.
Give me one reason why the Eagles will repeat.
Jalen Hurts is an MVP. That is in my opinion, would be the reason.
The Eagles won't repeat. Is it Jalen won't be an MVP?
No, it's probably that the defense, that Sileo and John are unfortunately correct about the defense.
I don't want them to be. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. No, I don't.
You've been promoting yourself as the Shohei Ohtani of things.
Oh no, well, that is true. By the way,
you don't want to be wrong, or you don't want to be. He said he doesn't want to be right. What a joke!
Hold on for a second. I love what fucking Elon Musk has in his thing about Big Sills. Calls Big Sills the most polarizing sports talk host in America. I couldn't believe that. I was like, thank you very much. That was really great. Elon Musk's boys saying that. Now I'm here to try to help you, Zander. I'm the helper. You think so you think it's because what's his name is going to be an MVP this year? Is that right?
I think if they go back and win the Super Bowl, I think he's going to be in the MVP conversation. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's read some supers before we get to JAKIB.
I think we only got a couple. Let's get to him. Kyle, what's up, Kyle? He says, who's the leader on defense now with Graham retired?
Bond.
Veteran. Yeah, that's a big ask for a one-year player.
All
that
pro?
Is. I mean, yeah, but Brandon Graham, I mean, that was a different level of leadership. That's 15 years in Philly.
That's also a fall-off.
That's ups, downs, in-betweens, Super Bowls, collapses, coaches, coordinators,
up and down in career,
media. Right. That's what Brandon Graham brought to the young guys on the defense.
You think they take a step back in leadership on defense?
Well, I think anytime you lose a guy like Brandon Graham, who was as vocal as he was, who had been through his mind. I mean, he was called Mr. Eagle himself for a reason. You know, I think he was more – I don't know if you'll see a guy that has that experienced of a career in Philly. I mean, he sucked in Philly. He experienced it. He was unreal in Philly. He experienced it. He reached the highest of highs by strip sacking Brady. He experienced it. Then he walked through the whole change from Wentz to Hurts to the collapse to, the loss in 22 to now. I mean, Brandon Graham was a very experienced Eagle. I mean, he had a lot of knowledge to share with youngsters on that defense.
Are you going to say to me right here, you think that Keely Ringo is going to give the Eagle defense the same thing that Cam Jurgens gave the Eagle offense in replacing Kelsey?
I can't say that.
That's a pretty big ask, right?
That's a big ask.
Leadership too.
Now, I see where you're going with it because both Slay and Kelsey, great players. They were a little bit on the other side of their prime, right? So maybe you get a younger guy in there that has more, more physical prowess because of his age. Maybe. I think that's pretty lofty, though.
Okay. So
Fleming checks in. He says, we need some Jahan Dotson and Uchi Kuchi.
How about this? Man, I think Nolan
Smith. Can't be saying that all year. I hope Uche gets cut.
Okay. Hey, listen. I think that I think Nolan Smith has a shot to take that role. I like his presence in the locker room.
Yeah, but he's not as experienced as BG. Actually, you want me to give you a bold take? I think BG could be the second or third biggest loss on the defense.
Okay, because of everything he brings to the table.
Yep. Not all play related.
Okay.
I mean, you got a young group of guys navigating a big, tough sports city. Coming off, by the way, a big win where, while awesome, it does create major expectations throughout the city. And Eagles fans are no stranger to that pressure, either making a player grow or making a player shrink. So you don't have a guy like BG. Maybe there's an impact. Maybe there's a something to that.
Here's a new one here from Prince.
Prince says, Zander asked Sills how the Chiefs can lose 11 starters or the Eagles only lose 4, but the sky is falling on the defensive side. We have the coaches.
I don't think the Chiefs are making the playoffs.
No, he's talking about when they repeated.
Okay, well, they have Mahomes.
Okay. Tough to push back on that one.
They got Mahomes.
We got Hurts. A-team says the void is always filled if there is a leadership void. They say Jordan Davis is the leader in the D-line room, plus Dean when healthy always been. Dean is a vocal leader.
Jordan Davis is the leader in the dining room.
By the way, I saw Nakobe Dean this weekend and Jahad Campbell at the NASCAR.
Oh, I hope
Jahad Campbell he's a big boy. He's a big dude, man. Like he's They got an athlete in that guy. If they can coach him up and he stays healthy, I got a feeling that guy's going to be a nasty good football player.
Just remember, Jason, Jordan Davis is a leader in the dining room.
Oh, shut up.
In the D-line.
What's y'all top 3 teams from each side that are Super Bowl contenders besides Philly and Kansas City? I got the Eagles, the Rams, and the Lions. And then I got the Ravens, the Bills, and I guess the Chiefs.
My 10 are Eagles, Ravens, Bills, Rams, Lions, Redskins.
No.
Chargers, Bucks, Chiefs, 49ers.
I don't think the Redskins are a Super Bowl contender. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my crow, but I don't think they are.
I got them winning the East, Junior.
The oldest up-and-coming team I've ever heard about. I saw that tweet on Twitter. The Redskins are up-and-coming. They're like 38.
Wait a minute. Here's Zander. Zander goes like this. Hey, look, experience doesn't matter.
I didn't say that. I just got done talking about how Brandon Graham's a massive loss.
You have 5 new dudes with experience that you have to worry about starting on the other side of the ball. But they bring in Jeremy Tunsil and these guys, and you're talking about them being like the AARP group.
They are the AARP group.
Okay.
It's different when you need your AARP group to be the leaders physically on your team.
The
Eagles didn't have that. The Eagles had the young nucleus with the old leader.
You under the impression that Tunsil's like Robert Quinn?
No, I'm not. Tunsil's a good player. But wait. Can I ask you something about Tunsil?
Sure.
He's a good player. Yes, 100%. What team lets go of a really good left tackle? Just see it, Tunsil.
The Redskins. They let Trent Williams go.
That's true. And how'd that work out for him?
Yeah, not very good. Their quarterback got hit in the back of the head every night.
I don't know. I'm just saying, is that a red flag on Tunsil? Like, why? If he's so great, and I do respect the player, but if he's so good, why are they letting go? They got a young quarterback in Houston.
No. You're right. It's a great question.
We'll see.
Great question.
All right, Sills, great show, brother.
All right, Junior, we'll catch you tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out the garage too with our friend. He'll have some great postings off that NASCAR event here. That's a great question to ask G. Cobb. Who takes that leadership role on that side of the ball for the defense? So you have all those guys that you're replacing, those 5 starters, but let's add this one here to Brandon Graham. Who becomes that leader on that side of the ball with all those guys that are so young? I mean, I don't know. How many guys are over 27 years old? Bond and Reed, and the rest of them are in their mid to early 20s, right?